get yourself together.
Yes, I'm trying to get myself together before it is too late. Last week I was really happy and surprised pleasantly. This week I'm somewhere in the middle, which is kind of strange for a position for me, politically at least. Anyway, it's good to see everybody today. Veg, I saw your video. It was great. Really, really liked it. It's around 9:00 something Eastern Standard Time from Bridgeton, New Jersey. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. We'd appreciate more people to commiserate with. And we also have a group Facebook page, which you can easily find on Facebook. It's called the Divided We Stand Facebook group. There might be a few others out there, I don't know, but as far as I know, we were the first. And just before I came on, maybe about a half an hour before, I see this. Yeah, you pretty much knew that he was going to do something not so lovely. And we're talking about Elon Musk. So I suppose he did the inevitable. He has reactivated Donald Trump's Twitter account. Now, as much as Trump cares about his Truth Social, the reality is he wanted to get back on Twitter, and he's going to have it. What will I do? I don't know. I would prefer to have a mass exodus from Twitter. And I'll be glad to leave it. I just want to make sure that the alternative is acceptable. And right now, they say it's not. But I'm very close to getting off of Twitter. And in fact, I did not broadcast this on Twitter tonight because I was afraid I was going to have those strange audio problems from last week. So I have not restarted my computer in about a week. So hopefully everything will go just fine tonight despite that. No major news. Dave is having a tough time, and that's all I want to say right now. I know you all keep him in your mind and hearts, so again, hopefully one day Dave will be back with us. It'll be great. It'll be great. So, again, good evening, everybody. It's good to see everybody. I can barely see in fact, I can't even see the comments. I can only kind of see the avatars. But I know you're there commenting, and it's great to have that because this is about commiserating and such. I wanted to talk about Merrick Garland today. And I suppose all of you have heard the news, but I'll go over that in a bit. That he has just appointed a special counsel. As soon as I heard that in the morning, I exploded. And then later in the day, I did more reading and kind of went to the other direction. Then I went back, watched some Neil Katyal, and went back to my own direction. But I think what I want to do when I go through this today, I'll be going through some of the different feeds on Twitter about this. I think the best way to go about this, as far as trying to communicate an opinion that I have, would be to first of all just explain exactly how I feel in what specific area and why I'm worried. And then why things apparently could go well in this sense. Maybe, Garland had a reason behind that. We'll talk about that. And maybe it's kind of both, where on one side of the issue, it might be a smart move, but the other side is nothing's really been done. We can't be assured that they won't get involved, meaning the Republicans. And one thing is for sure, that time is a factor for all of us. And I think that's what it's going to come down to with me. When I split the hairs on what Garland has done, where will it fall? And I've had problems with him before. You all know, if you're a member of Divided We Stand, I've had a problem with Garland pretty much from the beginning. All right. So anyway, that's where I want to go tonight. And if it leads in other directions, that's fine. But I think this is important enough. And as you'll see from Lawrence O'Donnell, he believes this will be a situation in which a prosecutor will be the most important prosecutor in the history of the United States. All right. So I'm going to have to switch to... I got to check my audio things here too. Yeah, I'm going to have to switch to the web. I'm going to make sure that I don't have an echo. All right. So we're going to go back to the web here. And let's look at some Twitter information. Okay, here we have a tweet from Lawrence Tribe. Now, you know he's on MSNBC. He's a prestigious law professor. I think he's considered to be the top constitutional law professors in the country. Okay, so Lawrence Tribe says, months ago, I urged appointment for a special counsel. More recently, I thought it was too late. Now that I see the details, I think Garland has done exactly the right thing, and that Smith is exactly the right prosecutor to take it on full speed ahead. Okay, now, I'm a big fan of Lawrence Tribe. In fact, I'm a big fan of anybody who's really intelligent and makes me feel more comfortable in my knowledge about the political topics that I consider important. So there is a very positive comment today, 13 hours ago. Okay. Here, of course, was the press conference. Maybe we should watch a little bit of it just to get a feel of the way that Garland communicates this. Usually he's very effective at it. Let's check it out.
Neil, your thoughts about today's news?
So, I mean, first of all, Nicole, Jack Smith seems great. I don't know him, but he has a public integrity background. He's exactly the kind of person that you'd want to be doing this. Having said that, I disagree pretty strongly with the decision by Attorney General Garland to seek a special counsel. I don't think it's needed under the regulations, and I think it risks delaying this investigation needlessly. So, you know, as you said, one of my first jobs at the Justice Department was drafting these regulations. And really, the appointment of a special counsel is primarily about a circumstance in which you're fearing a cover-up, in which you're worried that the Attorney General is being asked to investigate perhaps the president who appointed him or some other high-ranking executive branch official, and you're worried that investigation will get truncated, short-circuited through a cover-up or something like that. And so the special counsel is the person to do that investigation. Here, however, that investigation has already largely happened, particularly with respect to the Mar-a-Lago stolen documents piece. The January 6th one, I think, is somewhat different, but the investigations happened. And so, to me, I don't see what the case is for a special counsel. Attorney General Garland said it was because of a conflict of interest, because Trump has announced that he's running, and Biden is evidently running in 24 as well. That, to me, is tantamount to rewarding Donald Trump for all of the maneuvers he's making, including announcing his election right now. You know, I don't really get it. You know, I think in the last hour you had a description of how Jeff Sessions wasn't up to the task, and then you said Robert Mueller wasn't up to the task, and Bill Barr certainly wasn't up to the task. And now it seems like Merrick Garland's not up to it either. Now, maybe Jack Smith is up to it. You know, I think he will indict, particularly on the Mar-a-Lago stuff. because that is such an open and shut investigation. But precisely because it's so open and shut, I don't see why a special counsel was needed. It doesn't make sense to me. And if it's because there's a conflict of interest, because President Biden is going to run in 24, I would tend to think that would mean there's also a conflict of interest about the Hunter Biden investigation, and a special counsel will be merited there too. So I guess I just don't really see it, but nonetheless, the proof will be in the pudding. If this special counsel can move quickly and do an indictment on Mar-a-Lago, which is, as I say, a pretty easy case, then people like me, the critics, will recede into the background. But if this is going to be another delay tactic and another thing to allow Trump to stall out this, and even if he's indicted, if it's close to the 24 election, hope that there'll be a presidential pardon by whomever wins the Republican Party in 24 if that happens, this could be a really fiasco for the rule of law.
All right, we're back. I thought it was important to leave that on because I think you should hear what he has to say all the way through. And I was thinking today, about what he was saying. And what I got of that, at least in the first part of what he was saying, is that, this thing is solid. The case against Trump with Mar-a-Lago is solid. Why are we waiting? And he talks about perhaps Garland is worried about any kind of connection between himself and the president. They're going to do that anyway, to be frank with you. And in my opinion, with this, it's in a strange way. Garland has one thing that seemingly is similar to Trump in some odd sense. I think that Garland, for whatever his decision was for, specifically doing this, I think there's always this cloud here that Garland wants to, it's about something about his ego. He wants to appear fair. It's part of his character. And the suggestion that what he's doing be political, he throws it over to somebody else, a special counsel, seems to me a little bit absurd, because he himself stated that the Department of Justice would be separate from, the executive wing. Okay, it's just assumed that the Attorney General, and we can push Bill Barr to the side on this conversation, but that the Attorney General would be, very, very fair and not let politics get involved. And they could have done it already. In fact, if anything, they waited until after the midterms. So, to me, I think the most important factors to think about is this a stall tactic? And you have, just trying to think here. In the past, just look at what's happened through these stall tactics with every single one of the people who've at least been indicted or had to be deposed. Bannon, it went on and on, and he's still safe. Now you might say, well, Garland has nothing to do with the judge's decision. That's one thing, but still, he's not in jail. Okay, Roger Stone. Why can't you go after these guys? Get them. It just seems like all of them have gotten away with it, and they all use that stall tactic that Trump uses. And I think that's what Neil Katyal is worried about. Now, we go to the other side, because they're saying that Jack Smith might accelerate the speed of the indictments. And that may be true. And that's what Lawrence O'Donnell was talking about last night. And I think we should take a peek at that. Okay? Now, obviously, I won't be showing you the entire clip, but I think I have kind of the important part. All right?
Who is also in charge of supervising the 115,000 people who work in the Department of Justice, including the 35,000 people working at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the 34,000 people working in the Bureau of Prisons, the 9,848 people working in the Drug Enforcement Administration, the 5,400 people working in the U.S. Marshal Service, and on and on and on. Merrick Garland has Justice Department employees answering to him all over the world, working 24 hours a day. And now, Jack Smith has been appointed by the Attorney General to spend all day, every day, concentrating on one thing: the investigation and possible prosecution of Donald Trump. Jack Smith is not replacing someone else who was in charge of both of those investigations. There was no dedicated prosecutor in charge of both of those investigations, and now there is. And Donald Trump is afraid of that. That is correctly deeply disturbing to Donald Trump and his acolytes. Merrick Garland insisted today that the appointment of Jack Smith would involve no delay in these investigations, and there is actually the possibility that at certain points in the investigation, it could speed things up, because Jack Smith can make the decisions that previously had to get in line for the Attorney General's attention, which, as the department organizational chart shows, is scattered literally all over the world. Merrick Garland has a civil rights division to worry about every day, an antitrust division, a tax division, an environment and natural resources division, and Jack Smith doesn't. Jack Smith's focus is on one target all day, every day. And that target is going to have even more trouble trying to fall asleep in Florida tonight than he did last night. Mr. Smith issued a written statement today saying, "I intend to conduct the assigned investigations and any prosecutions that may result from them independently and in the best traditions of the Department of Justice. The pace of the investigations will not pause or flag under my watch. I will exercise independent judgment and will move the investigations forward expeditiously and thoroughly to whatever outcome the facts and the law dictate." Jack Smith, a name a fiction writer would choose to convey humility, now stands at the threshold of becoming the most famous and most important prosecutor in human history.
Wow. It's one of these on-air things. I know there was an echo in my earbuds. I assume you probably are hearing the same thing I'm hearing. But I think I figured it out. We won't go into that. All right. So I've shown you a few vids. And you can see where, I'm going left and right with this thing. I'm not as unhappy this evening as I was this morning. On the other hand, sometimes the original thought creeps back that perhaps, it's just ridiculous. And I like Milquetoast, but I like Lawrence Tribe and, of course, Lawrence O'Donnell. And, of course, this guy, Jack Smith, he looks like a Civil War general or something like that. He might be the guy that'll do it. But again, I think I look at things that have happened in the past where these delay tactics have really hurt the prosecution of Donald Trump and the prosecution of his acolytes. So yeah, but all in all, I do feel better. I just do. All right, so let's see what you guys think about this. because I know Gary, if you're here, you'll probably have something to say about it, because you have been right about Merrick Garland all along. I remember the beginning. I mean, I was just trashing him. Then I changed my opinion when he started to indict. Of course, now I went backwards again because Bannon didn't suffer much. All right, let's just start taking some of these. Look at the huge benefits. Should all of his Trump stuff be still being dissected over a year now? More will flee that party. Dems win in 24. We certainly hope so. Background. Hi, Epi. Good to see you from Scotland. Yes, my error there. With pubs not being, they don't want to be able to, the Democrats don't want the Republicans to be able to use that. Okay, it fortifies the case. I think that's important too, just by the response of Trump. This is on the other side of my argument. Trump said, I will not partake in this. I will not partake in this. And as Lawrence Donald had said earlier in that clip, we didn't see it, but he said, essentially, it's not for Donald Trump to decide whether he's going to partake in this or not. He has to partake in it. And the very fact that he said that makes me feel like he's worried. But maybe not too worried, because he's always gotten out of this. Because he's got a team of people. And he's got a country of people that are going to be behind him. So maybe he feels he can get out of it. And he has already. That's the one thing we can say. He's gotten out of everything except one thing. And that's out of our fingers when we voted. He did not win that. And he's angry at you and me because you know what? You and I are the ones who put him through. Okay. I want to show you something. Going back to the web. And, Now here we have a potential candidate, VP candidate for Trump. Let's check it out.
My second favorite guy stood up on a stage right up there in beautiful Mar-a-Lago and said he's going to run for office again, and I am so excited about that. Who's excited about that? There he is. And I will tell you this right now, I don't know what my future holds other than I'm going to continue to fight for this country. But I will do everything in my power to make sure this man gets back in the White House. We need him now more than ever. There's no other option. There's nobody better for the job. There's nobody who can get us out of this nightmare that we're in than somebody who introduced America First policies. And so I ask you in the coming days and months and weeks, as we're hearing, the fake news media talk, that we stand up and protect and push and do everything we can to help President Trump in his move toward the White House. I will do anything in my power to make sure this man gets in the White House for our children's sake and for our country's sake. Are you guys with us on that? No, are you really with us? Are you really with us? Okay. So I'm just honored to be here in the most beautiful place I've ever been, Mar-a-Lago, and I'm thrilled to be here with people who are fighting for America First policies. The only way we get out of this mess is the America First policies that President Trump introduced. And we need strong states and strong governors and strong leaders from the president right on down to the school board member. Let me rephrase that. We need strong leaders from the school board right on up to the president. Most importantly, the school board. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, President Trump, for inspiring all of us and inspiring a nation. And we are with you. We've got your back. And we will be with you right until we get you back in the White House. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Wow. She was up his ass on that one. That was just horrible. That was pathetic. And aren't we glad she didn't win in the election? But it does look like she's sucking up to him. And as somebody put on that post, she was probably auditioning for a VP role, which I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they don't have to lose any female in the Senate. They can just take her and place her in there. Now, you saw in that video, of course, somebody else is there smiling, and it still, folks, has not hit me, at least not to the point that I should be hit with, seeing so many females who defend Donald Trump. It's just so difficult for me to fathom, given Roe versus Wade and all that. So when I see these type of videos, the video itself is bad enough, but then when you see people who are just defending this shit, and the way that she fawns over Trump, I mean, that is just, people will do such things. They'll put on that act so they can get what they want. And then, of course, she said America first. Yeah, I mean, it's actually probably at the same, I don't say level, but the same approach as like a Lindbergh approach in the 30s, probably the early 40s too, before Pearl Harbor. Then he had to shut the fuck up, that kind of thing. But this whole idea of America first and getting us out of this crisis, to her, the real crisis, I mean, she's projecting. She is the crisis, as is Donald Trump. Until one of them goes to jail, folks, I'm not going to feel good about this. And maybe the logical part of me would say, Lawrence Tribe's right. Lawrence O'Donnell is right. I mean, I'm not trying to pit Katyal against these two folks. But my logic tells me that, Garland is intelligent. And he's going to make the right decision. He's got to weigh things out. So, I am basically saying that I'm changing my opinion from this morning. However, my intuition tells me that the former will be right. I don't know. I just want to see the guy put in prison. And I don't give a shit what these people say they're going to do or whatnot. I want his ass in prison. Because that's what he deserves. Right? Let's see who's here tonight, because I haven't been able to really see these. I changed the position of my computer a little bit, so I'm sure Joey's here and whatnot. Let's check. Right. Gary, of course, is here. Veg, great to see you. Bark Eater Den, good. We've got Anthony. Anthony, how's Dallas doing? Is it finally cool enough to open the windows? Epi, I knew you were there, but great to see you again from Scotland. Kim from the great state of Washington. And geez, it just reminded me, Vegematic has a new name. It's Vegematic Deluxe. Right? That's the difference between Russian 101 and Russian 201, right? Everything was, that was a big word back in the late 60s and 70s. You probably wouldn't, I wasn't from the 50s, but you probably wouldn't hear it that much, but who knows? But I remember all the burger chains, Burger Chef, Burger King, Geno's, they'd call it the deluxe cheeseburger, before you got to the quarter pounder and things like that. But the deluxe, I like it. It's even better, right? It's like double strength. Now you got to be doubly good or double the length of your videos, Veg. Joey, is Garland like Van Drew? No, he's not like Van Drew. Van Drew's about as bad as you get. Van Drew, I mean, if you're talking about his ego, I don't know. I think that Garland's hands are clean in all this. It's just that maybe what I'm seeing is him trying to really do the right thing rather than worrying about his ego. It's going back and forth there. But I do think that maybe the more intelligent person has less of an ego in his case, being that his hands are clean. The only thing I'd worry about is he wants to look good, and he worries so much about being fair that he's overly fair, and then you waste your time. But no, he's not like Van Drew. Van Drew's a party politician. He'll do anything to win, and he backs that bastard. It says Geraldo is asking Biden to pardon Trump. And and that's crazy too, because what does he think? Does Geraldo think you're going to get independent or more Democratic votes for doing it, or Republican votes? Republican votes, they're not coming in. In fact, you'll lose Democratic votes in a certain sense. Okay. Anthony, investigation for what is apparent to the average person who already knows Trump is a con artist and a liar, and the reason they took so long is because they're cowards. Just take Trump and dump his ass. Yeah, and again, that's still legitimate. That's when I woke up this morning, that's exactly how I felt, Anthony. Again, my nerves are a little bit more calm now. On the other hand, we always lose, and he is passing it to somebody, just like Mueller. And that's another point. Mueller wanted to leave it to Congress to do what should have been done. But he kind of knew that the Republicans were in control of Congress, right? So he wasn't doing anybody any favors. Congress did what they could do, but it wasn't enough. There was wisdom in those minds of those people who were trying to do the right thing against Trump, but it wasn't enough. But again, I think, Anthony, just as I was saying earlier, I think I have to trust that Garland is that intelligent that this was truly a utilitarian decision. He essentially had to weigh the pluses and the minuses, and he came up with Jack Smith. I hope he's right, and again, I hope I'm wrong. Now, again, I've kind of changed my opinion in one day, which is not the greatest thing to do, but I have to be honest, I did. We still have to just wait and see, and that's what basically what Neil Katyal said. Okay, we did see that. Okay, Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, they showed a clip from that. Okay, go on. We've been tripping. So everything is normal. I think we're good. They don't have any music in the background though. Maybe that'll. No, they're supposed to be. I don't know. Or it's just low. Facebook music. I can't hear it, but you can. You hear music? For Christ's sake. I guess we want to put something up a little bit. Now this is getting trippy on this side of the view here. I don't know what's going on, I really don't. Alright. No harm, no foul. Now maybe you're hearing a lot of loud music now, I don't know, but I don't hear it. So I think we're okay. Yeah, another thing too I wanted to show you folks. It's just a humorous thing and probably maybe not even worth putting up. But the good liars. I think they do an excellent job exposing hypocrisy. And this one is rather long. I don't know how long it's. Well, no, it's only 26 seconds. Really good. All right.
There's a book that we've seen that's in libraries and lots of schools that features a story of two daughters having sex with their dad.
Oh, wow.
They get their dad drunk to have sex with him. And this is like a book.
Should a book like that be in a school?
No.
No?
No,
Just get that out of the school.
absolutely.
Why do kids need to read that?
That book is actually the Bible.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
There's a book that we've seen.
Oh no. I guess either she didn't read it or she changed her opinion. Carte blanche right at the beginning. Yeah, that wasn't the one I wanted to show you, but that was still pretty good. Yeah. All right. I do want to get some of your comments here because I know I haven't paid attention to the chat room very much. Okay. Right. It's, a lot of this bullshit celebrity things. It's funny because, Anthony, when I go through like the Yahoo feed of news, you'll have all this serious news, possible nuclear war with Russia, mine collapses in Indonesia and, or whatever it is, there's some crazy shit. And then after 6 or 7 of things, it'll say, look at Jennifer Aniston's new dress, and how it looks. And it's just not news, but it's just clickbait that people have to make money for the company. But yeah, that echoes. Okay, so these are probably older posts. Look at okay, well, I think we did this one here. Okay. The echo's gone. We're good. Good now. All right. Okay, I'm probably about a half an hour behind you guys. It's not a delay tactic. Well, that's what I'm hoping, Gary. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think that Garland would want to delay anything at all. No, Garland wants this thing to work out. I think he wants it to work and as quickly as possible. I just think that part of it is passing the buck. I mean, he definitely could have indicted him already, right? I mean, he could have done that. And like Katyal said, the case was set. You can't get around it. If anybody was guilty, it was Trump. So again, it's not a stall tactic as it is just, I don't know. It just seems like he's passing the buck to somebody else. I could be wrong. And because Mueller did do that. I mean, I've already said that many times. I was saying at dinner today with Ronnie, we were saying, like, when's this guy ever going to get anything happen to him? It's just absurd. This guy gets away with it. And I think at some point, maybe the Big Mac is our closest chance. Literally. I mean, maybe he'll have to choke on one because, yeah, he's Teflon Don. And again, part of it is because it's kind of a Putin-esque type of move, because then you have people below you who are going to work things out for you. Now, with Putin, he's got everybody there now. Everybody is in place. But Trump has enough people in place in enough places that he can do this type of thing and win. He gets a federal judge here, a federal judge there, and he's off the hook. And to some extent, that has worked for people like Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, everybody else. I hope he won't win either. I hope, well, you know what? I actually do hope he kind of runs, because I think he's the weakest Republican candidate. I mean, everybody hates Trump, right? I mean, 65% of this country probably, no, maybe not 65, maybe up to 60%, because maybe some of them are just too lazy to vote. But I would say 60% of this country does not like Donald Trump. So it would be a great political process. I think we would win. Now, who knows what Trump would do? All right. Yeah, that's Kari Lake. You know, it's the same thing with cinema. I mean, again, these are probably career politicians that just kind of jump wherever they go, and they'll change their opinion on a dime, like Ted Cruz. The fools who promote Trump are even worse than Trump because they're insane and kissing his effing ass all the way to the bank. Right, and you know, I think that may be that form of hero worship. I mean, I don't remember exactly where I was hearing this, but essentially, Anthony, I was hearing that if people don't feel that their God's coming through for them, they'll kind of, they've got to have that hero God in their mind. And Trump is that visible one, the one whom they think is going to deliver the goods, so to speak, or has delivered the goods in their minds. So, yes, they defend him, they follow him, but that's happened many, many times before. There is, I think, a religious experience for these people with Trump. I mean, their view of the universe, you know, obviously we all have our own view of our standing within the universe, so to speak. But I think that they believe he's part of something bigger. And he's not, of course. But that's the kind of thing they do. And I think that's like putting a hero on a pedestal. Kinky, good to see you. Yeah, he did. And I did post that in the beginning of the show. Who knows what the hell. I don't even want to go to Trump's site. But it would be interesting to see what his first tweet was. You know, I want to thank Elon Musk for being fair, that kind of thing. Well, Kinky, I was talking to my wife. I said, I'm about to get off. I just want to see that everybody's leaving. Maybe I have to do it. Hi, Nina. Good to see you. All of our Canadian friends. I think America is great. It has some amazing cannabis breeders and cultivators. Only this week I was praising the breeding of pink gas mask. Real nice strain. Hey, Trev. Late shoveling when I shoveled yesterday. Wind came up and filled it all in. Hey, might have 2 meters of snow up in Buffalo. Now, no snow here. We just worry about floods. Yeah, well, YouTube may be it for me. I don't know. That's a good question, Kinky. I don't know is my answer. I would think that he could, but I mean, if he can do it now, why couldn't he do it then? I don't know. We need a whiteboard session. Okay. Gary, we need Trump to hang around long enough to tussle with Rand to sully him, vice versa. Rand would then leave less time to recover. Trump does the work. Ron DeSantis. It'd be nice to see them go at it. Yeah. But who knows what, you know, even with DeSantis, you don't know what he would do. It seems like he would have more Republican votes, but international, but within that Republican Party, who knows? Yeah, well, he He is something, isn't he, Veg? Epi says, pardon him for what? Grifting and deceiving. Right, you can't pardon him. You can't pardon him. Yeah, good point. Mueller couldn't prosecute like Ken Starr could. Ken Starr could prosecute on a hell of a lot less and win. Yeah. Great comments. Mueller ran an investigation. That's it. He just investigated. And then washed his hand clean a bit. Yeah, I'm trying to get the background music on. I don't know why it doesn't come through. At least for me. If it's too loud, tell me. But a guy is coming here to play some of him. Yeah, I would get flagged again though if I do that. A lot of stuff I really like to play. KC Jazz Band. KC and the Sunshine Band? No? KC. It's called, just made me think of KC. But they certainly can, can't they? Well, there are, within the Bible, those, they do describe such things. I've always said Garland sucks, and I stand by that statement. All right, and that's good because, unlike myself, I can't stay steady on this thing. I'm riding the wave here, but I was plenty angry this morning. Link to what? Which one, Kim? You'll have to say that again because I'm off time here, but I will send you whatever link that is. If that's the one with the religious one, I can do that. Okay. Yeah, I would. I mean, I think there are some historical parts of the Bible that you can look at today and say that that did occur. I mean, that we can say that part. I think as a description of geography, in some cases, maybe certain things can be confirmed, said from one to the next. Or, for example, suppose you look at the Old Testament. I mean, I'm sure there's been something in the Bible that they could find some historical documents 3,000, 4,000 years old that might be able to confirm that. But beyond that kind of thing, as you know, Kim, we think alike with that. Aside from a few points where you could say, okay, this was in this area and it's confirmed here, and blah blah blah, or there's something truthful about the culture here that you're describing from that time period that I could understand. But as far as ethics and morals, for every good thing you find something terrifying. It's terrifying, and I don't even think I can even concentrate on it. I mean, it's like reading Chinese to me. So, yes, Kim. I think we just try to agree with that. Garland epitomized two systems of justice in the USA. One for the powerful and famous, and one for the average. Yeah, because it did. That's right. That's a good point, Kingy, because now I'm thinking. Okay, he does have a lot of convictions with the people who were J6 right there, and they were the potatoes basically. But if he felt that it would look bad, then why was he part of the prosecutions for that? Mueller had no power with the definition of his position. Barr made sure of that. Right, but his words, he should have been stronger in his wording. I think the way he worded that there wasn't enough evidence for collusion. I know that sounds specific enough, but you have to think about who's going to read that. He had to have known, in my opinion, that there was a great possibility that Barr or Trump himself was going to mollify whatever happened, right? So it would take a lot of deep thought as far as how to place the wording. I just think that Mueller could have done better, and maybe he didn't actually handle that. But I think there was more to the Russian thing. I mean, there obviously was a lot of the Russian thing with what's his name, the pardon. He always had dealings with Ukraine. It'll come back to me. But he was, yeah. Okay, FBO. I have mentioned before, but the jazz vocals don't even like hearing Trump. Yeah, I mean, who does? And that's the problem when you live in the States. You can't get around it. Whatever you see in print, whatever you see on television, it comes up. Keith Olbert is back with Countdown on iHeartRadio. The show is great. You know, I have to check these out. I truly haven't seen some of his posts on YouTube. We may have to, or at least his acolytes. Trump said he donated money. Who did he donate to? Mar-a-Lago for the right, exactly. He said Mexico paid for the wall, but instead Texas paying for it. Thank you, Governor. Yeah, right, both times. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. Very, very small show, small community tonight. Something I spammed everywhere was Trump should be spelled with small t as it doesn't deserve a capital T. I mean, the brand is ruined, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Michael Cohen tears his ass. I give Michael Cohen credit. You know? I don't know if he's made amends for himself, but he's on the road back. Maybe his relationship with his wife and his daughter mattered more to him. He had to make a decision. So. Yeah, he wasn't very interesting 30 years ago. Yes, Ken Starr is, as you know, everybody knows, I hate Bill Barr. I hate Dennis Nunes. But long ago, back around 90, was it? That's when I really hated Ken Starr. I hated him then, like I hated Bill Barr now. Yeah, he was one of the big ones. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Kansas City. Kansas City. Let me see the Mueller report without redactions. Can Garland do that? I guess he would, but they're going to indict him, and there's probably information in there. You can't let them prepare for that kind of thing. So I would suggest they could, but they wouldn't do that. I mean, it wouldn't be smart. Oh, I'm way behind. All right. Sorry about that. The not so Supreme Court, right? They're no help. Okay, I'm moving quickly here. I want to go back to 2,000 years and have to talk. Jeez. I hope you find him. If he were there, I'd like to talk to him too, to be honest with you. But if there was a Jesus, I don't know. Because it would be interesting. I mean, you kind of solve it all. Oh, it was like that. Maybe he'll whoop it up. Who knows? But I don't think it really matters at this point. Right, but you know, the problem is Anthony has this comment, Russians are all very concerned about sanctions. Yeah, I mean, but the propaganda is such there that they're going to think that this is worth it because we have to destroy Ukraine. That's how they feel. And we are part of the enemy because they feel that obviously Ukraine would not have been successful without our help. And that's true. Okay, who cares? We're doing what's right. But I think they don't care so much about the sanctions because, you know what, quite frankly, they're getting a lot of goods, you know, through these other countries like Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan. Yeah, let's go to Buffalo, yeah. 98. All right, 98. All right, Joey. I'm a little behind here. I'm catching up, though. Guy, it only works when the music isn't louder than you are. Oh, geez. You see, I can't tell. I can't hear it. I can't actually hear the music. I just see something on here. And it's hard to tell. I'll find out later when I check it out and see what happened. All right, I've gotten to the end of the commentary. So, yeah, sorry about the music. I really couldn't tell. That's why I said it's somebody tell me, but I was behind. I was behind here, so yeah. I don't know what happened there. I normally can hear it, and I can hear it at sound level, but I think I've got a problem here. It might be fine now. Was it really loud, Kim? Because now I can see you in time. It was nice. All right. So, I don't know. I have no real ability to choose the music other than the non-copyrighted music from Facebook. That's basically what I can do. Even now, these old videos that I've had, hi Karen, they're getting copyright strikes from Facebook because there's 72 other countries where they say that I may have their material. Thank you, Anti-Gaia. Okay, I know that it was. I'm just looking at the levels. It looks. I can still hear you, but a bit too loud. Okay. I'm going to go by the number here and see. Okay. Are we okay now? Maybe everybody's hearing something different, you know, your experience. So, all right. I'm going to just look at my dials there. Couldn't hear right over the music. Better now, I think. Okay. It's funny because I was about to end the show, you know. I want to just end here before where I started off. This crap, not with the Bible here, but this thing here again. It's got to be the volume meters here. You see, normally when I turn it up on the volume meter here, I actually hear it through my earbuds. In this case, I didn't. It's separated the channels, so you were hearing a higher volume. I hate volume problems, so I am sorry. But anyway, this shit over here. I mean, let me just update this and see just how many followers he's got here. Is this live here? That's just Midas Touch. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's search Trump. See what happens. Make this smaller. All right, here we go. I don't see it yet. Is this it? I don't know. I guess that's it. So he has 165,000 followers. You know, that's probably the account right there. Let's see if there's any tweets. Okay, here we go. To all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration. Okay, that's an old one. I guess these are the old ones coming up. Christ. Or maybe he hasn't tweeted yet. Well, these aren't up to date. I don't know. I do not know. When is Amor trying to tune it out? Is it loud now still? Because my meter is showing. I'm going to need this just for the next show, so it's going to get a little bit technical. But right now, it says 7, but I can't hear anything. I literally can't hear any music. So I'm going to wait a few seconds here just to be able to hear your response, because I'm about 30 seconds away from you folks. Can you hear any background music? Where is my voice in comparison with the music? It's quiet now. Okay. Is it like, can you still hear the music though, Nina? Can you still hear the music? Any music, okay. So, how about now? I hear a little bit. Good now. All right. Usually, if I put it up at this level, it's really loud. I don't know why it doesn't do that, and I'm not going to play around. Just perfect. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And the interesting thing about the music is, as I've said to you, it calms me down when I speak. I'm able to kind of relax more. I can do it without it, quite frankly. But I like the music in the background. It's nice, but I don't know how loud it is. I used to be able to just boom, I can tell, boom, it's loud, it's too loud. I don't know. What's setting now? Right now, it says 17. It's that loud. I should be able to hear it. I still can't hear it. And if I just get this from you, you'll see. I'll go up to 100, as loud as it can go. Perfect. Okay, that was 17, but I want you to hear this at 100. Now, for me, it sounds the same. I can barely hear it. Okay, that went up to 100, and I could still barely hear it. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out the audio. I mean, it's really pissing me off. I do know there was an update by this loopback that I use. But anyway, folks, that's all I really want to talk about. I do ask that you keep Dave in your thoughts. You know, we need him back, but I'm really concerned about his health, of course, and. So if you all keep him in your thoughts. So, we'll see. I want to thank everybody. Gary, thanks for your commentary with the Garland thing. I'm going to tend to agree with you right now. Again, I don't know. And maybe I'll go back to Kinky's position on this. But I'm feeling a little bit better about it tonight. Oh, you heard from T-Bone. What if I haven't heard from him at all, Veg? Thanks, Gary. Veg, is he okay? I mean, I don't know. It's a shame I'm 30 seconds behind you all. Oh, okay. God, we're the... You know, our all-stars are in trouble here, you know? We need them. We need them. Well, anyway, thank you, everybody. Again, it was. I had a very, very simple show in mind. I was doing a lot of yard work earlier today. See if I have any of my departure videos left. Jeez, I don't even know here. No, I'm not even going to waste my time with it. But I will be back next week. Maybe we'd like to get a little more philosophical with things. I will, I have passed it on, okay, folks? But now is not the time to do anything but just keep your thoughts with Dave. All right, folks. Gonna sign off. I can barely hear. I wish I didn't know. I think it might be Brubeck. It says DD. Maybe that was a Brubeck tune. No, I'm not sure, Kim. Any more comments here? We'll leave it with that. Sounds like Brubeck. All right, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you, touch wood, next week. Bye-bye.